Hi everyone, it's Mandy. Thanks so much for joining me for another process video. Today I'm creating a layout for the Cocoa Vanilla Studio design team, and I'll be using the beautiful new Bohemian Dream collection. And if you haven't seen this collection yet, you need to go and check it out. I think it would have to be one of my favourite collections ever. The colours in it are so beautiful. There's some lovely soft pastel colours, but there's also some gorgeous bright colours as well, and there's purple in the collection, which I'm so excited about. I know a lot of people don't like using purple in their scrapbooking, but the shades of purple in this collection are really nice and it works beautifully with the other colours in the collection. So on this layout I want to use some of the brighter colours, and I've been on a bit of a mixed media kick lately. I'm really enjoying playing with inks and paints and getting a bit messy, and I'm loving including some mixed media on my layouts. So this time I'm playing with some Dilutions ink sprays, and the colours that I'm using are Peony Blush, Squeezed Orange and Rose Quartz. And so at this point in time, I really didn't have in mind a particular idea of how I wanted my background to look. I really just wanted to have a bit of a play. I knew which photos I wanted to document on this page, and so I chose inks that would coordinate with the photos as well as the Bohemian Dream collection. But with the background, I kind of just wanted to have a play and see what I could come up with. So the first thing I did was spray a little bit of water onto the background, and this was just to help the inks to blend a little bit better when I sprayed them onto the page. And I'm using Basil Marshmallow cardstock, so I didn't apply any gesso to the page first. I just went ahead and started adding my ink straight onto the cardstock, and I was really happy with how this cardstock took the wet mediums. You would probably get a bit of a different result if you did add gesso first, because the ink wouldn't soak into the cardstock as quickly, but I was happy with how this turned out, and considering how much I sprayed onto the page, the marshmallow cardstock really didn't warp too much at all, so I was happy with that. So after I spritzed the background with water, I then sprayed the ink straight onto the background, and I liked that, but to me they kind of looked just like blobs of ink on the page, and it wasn't exactly what I was going for. So I came back in with the packaging technique, and you would have seen heaps of other people doing this, particularly Missy Whidden. She does it a lot and she creates amazing backgrounds for her layouts. So I did that. I just went back over it again using the same colours in the same places, but this time I applied the ink using the packaging, the plastic packaging, and I liked that a lot more. It just gave it more movement, and it made the colours look like they blended into each other better. So then next I added some ink splatters using the same colours again, and I didn't dab up any of the excess ink when I did those splatters, because I wanted them to be a bit darker than the rest of the background, and so I just finished drying them with my heat gun just so that I could keep moving with the layout without smudging them. And then I did a little bit of stenciling over the top of the ink using some white acrylic paint and a Crafters Workshop stencil, and I did make sure that my ink was dry before I did that. So I was just working on building up the layers in my background just to give it lots of interest. And then I also added one of the clear stamps from the Bohemian Dream collection to the background, and so I just stamped the phrase "Hello You" multiple times in different places. And some of that does get covered up by the photos, but that's fine. And then the last thing I did on my background was just add some black and white ink splatters. So the photos that I'm scrapbooking today are of my gorgeous little niece, Eliza. She's such a beautiful, happy little baby, and I absolutely love scrapbooking photos of her. She's so cute, and the bright colours in those photos worked really well with the Bohemian Dream collection, and particularly the colours that she's wearing. She's got pink and purple flowers on her jumpsuit, which really reminded me of both the colours and the florals in this collection. And I initially didn't intend on using 2 photos in different sizes. I don't do that very often. In fact, I don't even remember the last time I did it. But I accidentally printed one of the photos too small, but then when I laid it onto the page, I actually really liked it, so I decided to just go with it, and I really like the end result. I probably wouldn't have thought of printing them in different sizes, so it was really just a happy mistake that turned out well, and I think I'll try this again because I really like how it looks. And then I added a strip of patterned paper across the bottom of the layout, and that just helps to ground it. So you can see there that I'm putting my photos on the page slightly overlapping, and I don't want them straight on the page. I like how they're just slightly crooked because I think that kind of goes well with the fun, messy background. And then I just created a floral cluster there in between where the photos meet. So it's sort of coming out from that corner there. And so I added a chipboard sticker, and then I also tucked in some die cuts from the collection as well. And the florals in this collection are so beautiful. It's just so easy to create pretty floral clusters by layering them together. And there's heaps of flowers in the die cut ephemera pack, so you can really have fun building up your floral clusters without having to worry that you're going to run out too quickly. And then I also created a second floral cluster to balance that one out down in the bottom left hand corner of the page, and once again I used both chipboard and die cuts in that cluster. And then for my title, I'm using one of the chipboard titles. So these are a new thing that Zoe has added to this collection, and I love them. I've seen lots of the design team girls colour them using inks and paints, and I'm really keen to give that a go. But on this page, I really liked how the white title really popped against the bright, colourful background. So I left it just as is, and I love how that looks. And so now I'm sticking things down because I'm happy with how the page is looking, and I did cut some of this out because I don't want you to get bored watching me glue everything down. Because of the way I scrapbook, I tend to lay everything out, and I don't stick anything down until I'm happy with the placement of everything, which means that usually when I record my videos, there's kind of a chunk of time where I'm just sticking things down. But if you are actually interested in seeing that part of my process, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to leave it in, but I'm just conscious of not making my videos too long, so let me know what you prefer. So I added some foam tape to the back of the smaller photo just to lift it up and give it some extra dimension. You've probably noticed that I love doing this on my layouts because I love lots of dimension. And then I'm also adding foam tape to the back of the chipboard title as well because I really want that to pop off the page. And also because it's going to be overlapping that smaller photo, which also has foam tape underneath it, so then it will just sit nice and flat over the top of that. So I just cut up some small pieces of foam tape to add to the back of that word. And so I'm pretty much done now. I'm sorry my camera cut out at the end here, but all you missed was me adding my journaling strips, and that finished it off. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I've got some close-ups here at the end for you. Go check out this new collection in the Cocoa Vanilla shop or at your local retailer, and I'll be back soon with another video. See you later, guys. Bye.